Hey, this is Grant Brissett talking about a new book called Why Does God Allow Evil by Dr. Clay Jones, apologetics professor at Biola University. I had the joy of taking his class. Huge subject, but I would just want to bring out two brief points. Number one, evil and suffering that we face on this earth will be put in perspective if we understand two things more deeply. Number one, the depths of human corruption and depravity, and number two, the glories of heaven. Okay? Number one, we don't want to admit that inside each one of us is capable of great, great evil. We see in history that history is just basically a recording of wars, rape, pillaging, political upheaval. That's human history. On an individual basis, I know that if I hate anyone in my heart, I become a murderer. If I've ever stolen anything, I become a thief. If I've ever lusted after another human being, that's adultery. So we violate every single one of the 10 commandments. I've never really met anyone who doesn't claim that they've done those things, and therefore to take us into a perfect heaven would ruin heaven. But once we start looking at the depth of human depravity, we look at genocides and we realize that it was ordinary men. This is the book Ordinary Men that I had to read for Dr. Jones' class that talks about ordinary men committing the final solution against the Jews. It wasn't just Hitler, it's ordinary men. Go look up the Milgram experiments where people are asked to violate their conscience and listen to an authority figure to administer electric shock to other people. Look at the Stanford experiment where they take 24 males and from a coin toss, some are prisoners and some are guards. And you can see it deteriorate very quickly. Once we see that people, and more specifically you and me, fall short of any kind of perfection, then John 3:16 takes meaning. Then, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not die but have everlasting life. That's when the glories of heaven mean something in light of the depravity of mankind, the grace and generosity of God. You can believe mankind is good if you want. I don't know where you're going to get with that. There's no political answer that I've ever seen in history become the answer. The problem isn't the political system mostly. It's people, it's men. But God loved us enough to save us. Well, this has been Grant Brissett talking about Why Does God Allow Evil by Dr. Clay Jones. Check it out.